We are social creatures. How do you stay connected despite social distancing? I did a live video here on the channel not too long ago about social distancing, and I really don't like that term. I don't. You know what? We are social creatures. We are social beings. It's important for us to connect to each other. So I've been using the term physical distancing.
That makes you feel better.
It makes me feel better. Because really we have to stay connected socially somehow. And how we do that, I think, starts with how we conceptualize this thing. Social distancing or physical distancing is not the same as emotional distancing. And I'm afraid we slip into that sometimes because there's kind of a natural tendency as we're keeping our distance physically to start to distance a little emotionally, and then people feel isolated.
Even when I see people at the grocery store, it's almost like I want to say hi, and then I like pull back, like, oh,
I can't. I'm not supposed to.
But we can.
Yes, you can. And you should. So there are ways to stay connected. We've got a few tips for you here today.
One of the first tips is showing real concern. You know, I had an experience with this just yesterday. I work in a school, typically, and one of the faculty members lost her mother during this week. And this is a really hard time to lose a loved one because the opportunity to grieve with your family and loved one has taken some limitations and restrictions that we normally don't have.
Right, because of the distancing that we're talking about.
And so I wanted to really show her concern, and one of the teachers is putting together where she was gathering all of a bunch of thoughts and videos. And I took an extra minute. Instead of just signing a card, which I would have done at work, and I would have felt heartfelt when I signed it, I would have wrote something small. I actually just stopped and thought for a while and tried to walk in her shoes for a minute and show true concern for the situation she was in, and composed a little bit longer email than just a signature on a card. And I think we can show concern at this time for what people are going through.
Without getting into the paranoia. People aren't dangerous. The virus is dangerous. And the distancing is a strategy to deal with that known threat. But it's not people that are the threat. So making that little shift in our mind as we show real concern for people. I love the way you put that, Vicki, to walk in her shoes for a little bit. See what it is that she might be feeling and reach out in ways that show that genuine concern. Consistent with this idea that social distancing is not emotional distancing, what if you were to make a real attempt to look people in the eyes and smile? Be pleasant. Light up your face a little bit. One of our Finnish friends shared with us a joke about how to tell the difference between a Finnish introvert and a Finnish extrovert. Do you remember?
Yes. The Finnish extrovert looks at your shoes while talking to you.
And that's kind of funny, given the culture. How much are we doing that? You know, where because we're keeping our physical distance, we're looking down.
Yeah.
Look up. Look at people in the eyes.
Be sure to see people.
Yes. And smile. Have a pleasant face. Connect. That does so much to lift people's spirits. When you will connect with them, and you can still talk to people. Say hi. It's totally okay. Now that you've got permission, you're going to go do it.
You know, I had an interesting experience just this morning. Well, yesterday I thought about my family, you know, my extended family that I don't see or talk to a whole lot. And I decided to send a text with a video to my brother, who I usually only have contact with, you know, a handful of times throughout the year. And it was fun. He texted back this morning. We had an exchange. So you can start developing, just really working and enriching the relationships that sometimes get put in a back burner because we're so busy.
Or we're so close to them that we don't pay attention. We don't notice the significance of that relationship because we're so used to it. And right now, with the distancing, we also tend to be a little more at home. People are working from home. People are doing all of their appointments remotely. And so we're kind of in the same space. Well, this is a great opportunity to reconnect with the people in your world, in your space, in your family. Take advantage of that opportunity. This is a time to get closer to those who truly are the closest to us.
Mm-hmm. This whole situation of social distancing has brought up something that I think we could easily revive, and that's letter writing or true telephone calls rather than just text.
You mean actually putting pen to paper?
Yeah, writing down things for each other, just little comments or a letter about how things are going, what you're up to. We live in a world that's really every minute is real time. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes letter writing feels a little odd because whatever you might write about, maybe you've talked to them since between the time. But it's still so fun to get a letter, maybe tell a short story, share an experience that you had in a letter.
You know what I love about that, Vicki? Besides the brilliance of the idea, this stands out. Because right now, especially, we're all connecting electronically right here. We're on our devices and we're sending messages and video chats and texts. And that's great. For you to go to some old school kind of communication is going to stand out, and that becomes significant to that person. Mail a card, mail a letter, write a letter.
I even had my sister called me and said, hey, what's the address for a cousin of ours that lives back east? My granddaughter thinks it'd be kind of fun to have a pen pal during this time. So they are starting some pen pal letters between I think she's about 6 and a 7-year-old. What a fun thing.
Back in the day, there was a telecommunications company that had an ad campaign that went like this. Reach out and touch someone. From a public health standpoint, that's not allowed during social distancing. But the idea is to reach out in whatever way that you can and connect with or touch someone who is significant to you. It might be a great idea during this time as we're thinking about this to actually reconnect with someone that you've lost touch with.
You can write a letter. We talked about that. But what about a little note or dropping a gift off? Actually, the other day, last week was my birthday, and some dear friends that used to be neighbors and they moved away. They're basically like family. Mm-hmm. I look out the window and there they are, their family of, how many do they have in the family now? 5, 7? Yeah. The family of 7 is standing there with a sign at the end of my
out on the sidewalk, just kind of like
happy birthday.
Yeah.
And today is Paul's mother's birthday, and we're planning to go do a little drive-by parade.
Yes.
So you can still reach out and connect with people. Find ways to do that.
This is important also as a community. And I've seen several examples of this that are just so inspiring. You'll see everything from dance-off competitions on YouTube where a family gets together, composes a little dance, and then they send out a challenge to friends and family, and they start sharing their videos. There's a mom in our neighborhood who's organizing a youth talent show. And so the kids are getting together and sharing their talents electronically.
Well, electronically they're doing it.
Getting together, that was the wrong word. They're sharing these talents, but then putting them together in a place where they can all be enjoyed. We've heard stories of people in Italy who go out on their balconies in the evening and they sing together from their balconies. There's the teddy bear in the window as people are going around the neighborhood looking for the bears, going on a bear hunt. These are ways that communities can come together, and really it can unify us in ways that we haven't experienced in the past. This is a great way to stay connected despite all of the social distancing. And maybe it even creates those opportunities for us to do that.
That we wouldn't have had. One thing that's been on my mind a lot, Paul, we've talked about it, is I have a number of older friends who live alone. Yeah. We're pretty lucky because we're social distancing at home, but we also have a married couple that lives downstairs and a college-age daughter. So we get to have a lot of interaction while we're home alone, staying home.
There are some, especially older adults, who may be very isolated at this time because they're not getting out to go to the senior center or to go to the grocery store even. Some of them are very restricted in their movements. I think during this time of social distancing, it's important for us to be aware of those older members of our community who could use a special kind of an outreach. That might be where the letters come in.
Yeah.
They know how to use those, even though the younger kids might not know what a letter is. It might also be that you've got an old device that you're not using anymore that could be FaceTime capable, or to do a little video chat, and providing or gifting that device or even lending that device to an older adult in your community could be a really great way to help them stay connected. We are glad that you are connected and that we are connected to you. Please share this video with somebody else that you think would benefit from it. And come on over to the website, drpauljenkins.com, where there are so many resources available to you, things you probably didn't even know we were offering. Come join us over there.
The street alone. Her head was down, face locked onto her phone. And I wished